Keep up with the latest news and updates on the Canadiens, the greatest champions in NHL history. Subscribe now, fans. Toronto Maple Leafs get ready for a match. NHL rumors: the Toronto Maple Leafs and New York Rangers are on Patrick Kane's list. Kaleakovo, I'll be honest with you, and I don't think this is newsworthy, but based on people that I've talked to, if Patrick Kane were to accept a trade somewhere, the two teams that I've been told are on his list are the New York Rangers and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Host, cut that clip, we're using that on Leafs Lunch. Kaleakovo, I don't know if the Toronto Maple Leafs even fit the host. Well, and the problem with the Leafs, the $10.5 million. You'll have to do a double salary retention. Kaleakovo, so if Patrick Kane comes to you. If you're Kyle Dubas and Patrick Kane comes to you and says, I want to get traded to the Toronto Maple Leafs, cause now the Rangers are out of it. If those were the only two teams that he would think about playing for, if you're the Maple Leafs, do you say yes to that deal? TSN, Kaleakovo on his Patrick Kane scoop. NHLRumors.com transcription. Kaleakovo, I was on my morning show, and I shared some information that was given to me last week before I left for my vacation, and it sounds like it's some pretty big news here in Toronto. Let me just turn back the clock here. I left for vacation last week, and prior to me leaving, I had a conversation with somebody very close to the conversation, and we got talking about the NHL and some players around it, and Patrick Kane was a conversation that we had. In me asking the question, so, what do you think's going to happen? It was basically laid out to me that Patrick Kane's in a position right now where he still hasn't made up his mind on exactly what it is he wants to do. But, if he had to make a decision, two teams of interest that he could see himself being traded to were the New York Rangers and Toronto Maple Leafs. Who's to say how this whole thing plays out? The big question here is, what does Patrick Kane want to do, and what has changed since the New York Rangers went out and acquired Tarasenko? I would have to imagine that Maple Leafs are probably still one of the teams that he is eyeing, but has another team come into the mix now, knowing that one potential team looks like it's out of it? With what the Rangers did with Tarasenko. So I shared this on my show this morning. I do find it interesting how a lot of the media in Chicago have been asking him questions as of late, trying to get an answer as to when he's going to make a decision. I think it was last week when he made the comment or shared the comment about Tarasenko's acquisition, where he did say, within the next 7 or 10 days, I'm going to make my decision.